Well, top of the morning, Nigerians. How are you doing today? Welcome. Today's Wednesday, the 17th day of September 2025. How did you sleep? I will ask you. I hope you had a well-rested night. Welcome to another segment, another edition rather of the program, The Press, here on CAF 10 Television. It comes your way every weekday from 9 to 10:30, where we discuss top headlines making the wave and of course bring you weather updates for each day. I am Princess Ekezie Okoli and I'm saying welcome to the show. Well, as we always as always, it is our tradition on the show. We begin with the weather update. We'll bring you weather updates across the country lines from certain regions in the country, of course, and sometimes it sort of tells the other part that I not mentioned. I'll be starting with the southwest of the country today. I'll be starting with the commercial city of Nigeria, and that's Lagos State. Lagos State, as of today, is boosting at 25 degrees Celsius. It's cloudy with a high of 28 degrees Celsius and a low of 24 degrees Celsius. Now, rainy conditions are expected around 8 this morning, which we're kind of like an hour late already. So it's possible it's already raining in Lagos with wind gusts up to 8 kilometers per hour. Still in the southwest is the city, or rather the state of Ondo. Ondo is boosting up 23 degrees Celsius as well, cloudy with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. Now, rainy conditions are expected around 12 to 1500 hours today, with thunderstorms expected around 1500 hours. All right. That takes us to the south part of the country. I'll begin with the city of Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Port Harcourt is currently boosting up 23 degrees Celsius with a high of 29, I beg your pardon, and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. Is also cloudy. Rainy conditions are expected around 1300 hours today with wind gusts up to 9 kilometers per hour. Benin, which is still in the south region of the country, is also boosting up 23 degrees Celsius. It's cloudy with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 23 degrees Celsius. Rainy conditions are expected around 14 to 1600 hours today, with thunderstorms expected around 1600 hours today. Well, not far from the south is the southeast. We begin with the city of the state of Imo, and Imo is boosting as well of 23 degrees Celsius. It's cloudy with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. I think all the weather conditions in the south are sort of twinning this morning. Enugu State is boosting of 23 degrees as well, with a high of 29 and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. It's cloudy as well. Rainy conditions are expected around 1600 hours with wind gusts up to 10 kilometers per hour. Now let me take you away from that region and take you far away down to the northeast. And in the northeast, in the city of Maiduguri in Borno State, is boosting up 25 degrees Celsius. Is going to be mostly sunny today, with a high of 33 degrees Celsius and a low of 23 degrees Celsius. So if you're in Maiduguri, brace yourself up for some heat today. Yes, it's going to be hot. It's going to be very hot this morning throughout today. Well, but partly cloudy conditions are expected around 12 later in the day, with wind gusts up to 17 kilometers per hour. Well, in the city of Kaduna in Kaduna State is boosting up 22 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy with a high of 30 degrees and a low of 21 degrees Celsius. Thunderstorms are expected around 1700 hours with wind gusts up to 11 kilometers per hour. Not so far from Kaduna is the city of Kano in Kano State. It's boosting up 23 degrees Celsius as well. Partly cloudy conditions with a high of 32 degrees and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. Sunny conditions are expected around 9 this morning with wind gusts up to 13 kilometers per hour. All right, still in the northern region, I'll bring you closer to the north central in the city of Jos in Plateau State is boosting of 19 degrees Celsius. Mostly sunny. It's going to be mostly sunny today in Jos with a high of 27 degrees and a low of 18 degrees Celsius. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 1300 hours with wind gusts up to 8 kilometers per hour. All right, with that, I'll bring you back home here in the city of Abuja, the nation's capital. Yes, if you've noticed, I think for 2 days now, it's been quite sunny this past 2 days. And I don't know, for those of us who do not like the heat, we're not so, let me just speak personally, I'm not enjoying the weather. All right, Abuja is boosting up 23 degrees Celsius with a high of 29 degrees Celsius and a low of 22 degrees Celsius. It is also mostly cloudy. Well, partly cloudy conditions are expected around 10 this morning with wind gusts up to 7 kilometer per hour. So these are the weather updates as of today, Wednesday, 17th September 2025. So basically, I think the rains are receding in some part and increasing in some parts, if you ask me. But with that, go out today prepared for whatever the weather says. But always remember to drink lots of water. Very good for your system. All right, with that, I'll bring you the headlines as they make the waves. I'll be bringing you the biggest ones, the ones appearing on the top paper headlines. So I'll start with leadership as it leads us through the rest of the papers this morning. So let's look at leadership newspaper. I'll take the top stories there that says reactions trail JT Hussaini's London property controversy. All right, if you want to read further, you find that story on page 7. Despite zoning, our presidential ticket open to all. PDP on that. All right, other stories here says Nigeria 651 kidneys worth $41 billion sold in 5 years, says Professor of Medicine. I don't know if you caught what I said. 651 kidneys worth $41 billion sold in 5 years, says Professor of Medicine. Okay, it sounds as if we're selling commodities here. All right, why we want Fubara to join us? APC, 12 banks clear recapitalization hurdle ahead of March 31 deadline. Tinubu back in Abuja after 2-week vacation in France. Sowore counters DSS suit seeks enforcement of fundamental rights. Flood hits 13 communities in Adamawa. And away from that, many Nigerian orphanages now havens for stolen children. Agency. Troops arrest indigenous people of Biafra commander, rescue 11 victims. These are the stories making the waves on Leadership newspaper this morning. For more read, pick up the Leadership newspaper for more details on these stories. Let me take you away from there and bring you the Vanguard. The Vanguard. Private depot deserted as Dangote refinery begins direct fuel supplies. You'll find that on page 19. If you following the news closely, last week you noticed that we've talked about the Nupeng purported strike that was halted because of the MOU sign, and then also the brouhaha that came after that, after the MOU was after they alleged that the MOU was flouted by the Dangote group. Now, with that, I guess, with Dangote supplying fuel directly to depot, I don't know if that signals that they made good their threat of going on strike. Well, if you want to read further, pick the Vanguard and check on page 19 for full details. Experts disagree as presidency says inflation will drop to single digit. Bandit commander Ado Alero kills traditional ruler in Safe, Zamfara. NRN same linkage reduces fraud, boosts national security. Tinubu. Federal government drags Sowore Facebook X to court over criminal posts against Tinubu. Rivers hopes mixed views as emergency ends tomorrow. And some of the writers in that story says Ibas asks resident to nurture peace already built. Elders sue for unity. Fubara returning as conquered man. CUPP. Governance may suffer, says Okore. Abgas founding chairman. PDP warns Fubara against defection, demands preview of interim rule. And finally, the last writer in that story says Tinubu returns from vacation. All right, these are the stories on Vanguard. And still on Vanguard, Lagos key to attaining Nigeria's global influence. Someone on that. We also have other stories here. Food security. Federal government unveils new agri-investment incentives. Nigerian professors earn gardeners 3-hour pay. Ex-OAU VC Abimbola. That's really pathetic to hear that Nigerian professor are earning what gardeners are earning in 3 hours. I believe that, of course, is outside Nigeria. Okay. All right, let me take you away from there, bring you First Daily Newspaper. First Daily Newspaper. PDP slams federal government inflation forecast as bogus propaganda. Jonathan, 2027 candidacy could shake APC. Udenta. Sowore battles DSS, Meta, X over Tinubu criminal post. Peace, stability return to rivers under my watch, Ibas. Anambra to spend 3.5 billion naira empowering 8,300 youths, Commissioner. All right, other stories here on First Daily says visa fees non-refundable. U.S. Embassy clarifies. INEC decries poor turnout for voter registration in Enugu. Chinese language now part of senior secondary curriculum. Federal government, you ask me, how did we get there? Okay, all right, interesting one. Rivers APC woos Fubara ahead of handover. All right, let's see how that story develops. Of course, the interim the interim person that was a boss who will be leaving will be formally ending his 6-month stay tomorrow. Let's see how that transition will bring you the story as it unfolds, of course. All right, away from the First Daily, I'll bring you Daily Sun newspaper. IPOB disowns NAP notorious pro-Biafra commander Gentle the Yahoo. So they're basically saying that they do not know who Gentle the Yahoo is. He's not part of them. Nigerians won't accept insecurity as destiny, or be warns. Rivers all set for Fubara's return, and the writer says CSOs, NYC and others march for peace, unity. And the stories here you find on the Daily Sun. You see a photo of the president returning yesterday from his trip in France, and we see the photo of the Senate President Babio welcoming him along with AGF and some other persons. I also saw the governor of Nasarawa State as well, different newspaper. All right, with that I bring you the Punch newspaper. The Punch. Tinubu returns to Abuja after cutting short Paris leave. Nama pushes for tariff hike. Airlines kick. Army arrests notorious IPOB commander in Imo. Oil reforms drive $18.2 billion deals. Federal government unveils agri reforms, moves to create 21 million jobs. You find that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And some of the headline reads, fresh incentive will boost food production, free Nigerians from seasonal dependency, Shatima. Another says, others endorse measures, seek timely intervention, women farmers tax, federal government on loans, others. All right, other stories you find there. How Nigeria can attain global power, Sanwo-Olu. Don't derail Awujale's selection, cancel warns ruling houses. All right, other stories there says 4 hospitalized as fire guts 2 Lagos buildings. Federal government predicts fresh flooding in Lagos, 13 others. All right, these are the stories you find on the Punch newspaper. All right, let's look at another newspaper here this morning. We look at the Whistler. Oil and gas sector reform delivers $18 billion investment commitment. NUPRC. Ojulari seeks stronger collaboration to achieve energy security. That's the writer on that story. NAPTIB rescues 8 children stolen from Asaba orphanage. All right, federal government pledges to rein in inflation to single digits soon. Says farmers not happy about food prices reduction. DSS sues Sowore X Meta over anti-Tinubu post. And the writer says, I am ready to defend myself, says activist. CSCS executes 2.11 trillion naira transactions in 4 months. And the writer says trading volume signals upward swing in capital market transactions. Other stories are Kanu's brother petitions NHRC over continued detention of IPOB leader. Troops kill 2 terrorists, recover arms in Taraba operation. Kill 11 in Borno, Adamawa. Dangote refinery's price cut is posing marketers to heavy losses. Dabman says action undermines healthy competition. All right, those are the stories you find on the Whistler this morning. Let's look at another. The Voice of Liberty. All right, the next paper, The Voice of Liberty, we have federal government suspends 4% FOB levy on imported goods. NARCON clears Hajj fare refunds for 19 states. PIA amendment, NNPCL shakeup threaten Nigeria's sovereignty, Atiku warns. 2027, Northerners have right to contest against Tinubu, ACF tells Governor Bago. Atiku meets U.S. ambassador in Abuja. Federal government drags Sowore ex Meta to court. 11,000 flight charge no longer feasible, says Neymar DG. 2027 APC ruling by panic, not governance. PDP touts APC backs Hashim stand on zoning. All right, these are the stories you'll find today on Voice of Liberty. And with that, I take you to the Guardian newspaper this morning. PDP throws 2027 presidential ticket open to all regions, even though they actually zoned it, but they said it's also open to all regions. Food transport, housing. Food transport, I beg your pardon, housing. Others remain key inflation drivers. All right, other stories. Atiku meets U.S. envoy in Abuja, flays tribalism in Nigeria. Insider threats, low confidence, Hubble $14 billion aviation target. All right, these are the stories, and also other stories you'll find on The Guardian this morning. Tinubu returns as Fubara set for reinstatement. Labour Party seeks emergency rule probe. Federal government is insensitive to doctors' welfare. NMA reiterates. Sowore files countersuit as DSS sues him, ex Meta, over anti-Tinubu post. International Day, Lagos warns against using ozone-depleting gases for refrigerators. Others. And the last story you find on The Guardian this morning, crude output improves as Nigeria records first full pipeline availability in 20 years. Interesting, isn't it? All right. With that story, I bring you the Daily Times this morning. $100 billion annual investment needed to revive Nigeria's middle income class. That's the Minister of Finance there. Insecurity threatens Benue's role as Nigeria's food basket. Report. Yes, indeed. DSS slams criminal charges on Sowore ex Meta over anti-Tinubu post. You find that story on page 2 of the Daily Times. Billions invested, but Africa's 5G dream still out of reach. 8, not 40 persons abducted in Zamfara Mosque, police says. All right, court upholds ICPC's investigative powers in Kano Scholarship Fund case. Over 5 million uncollected PVCs worrisome ahead of 2027 CSO. That's a lot of PVCs uncollected. 5 million. Tinubu's suspension of 4% FOB levy saves airlines from fresh burden. All right, let me take you away from there. Let me bring you the blueprint. All right, not so much is on the blueprint this morning, but the stories you find there. Think about 2 stories I'm looking at. Our CNG drivers earn thrice minimum wage. Dangote refinery. Okay, saying that his CNG drivers are earning 3 times Nigeria's minimum wage. 114 million of 230 million Nigerians not yet under NRN database capacity hits 250 million. And the writer says harmonized identity system will strengthen governance. Tinubu. All right, those are the stories on the blueprint this morning. All right, let me take you away from there and bring you the metrics. The metrics. NNPC Limited GCEO calls for stronger African collaboration to achieve energy security. All right, Rivers emergency rule. Ibas bows out, gives scorecard. Ahead of reinstatement, APC woos Fubara. 123 million Nigerians now captured in NIN database, NIMC. Shawore versus Tinubu, legal firestorm ignited, and the writer says federal government drags Shawore to court for cyberbullying President Tinubu. Censorship of political criticism is alien to democracy. Shawore sues DSS Meta. All right, other stories. Ababio, Bajabiamila, Edun, others welcome Tinubu back to Abuja after vacation. Obi's visit to Obasanjo, part of wider consultation, says Tanko. All right, a bit of a sports story here. UCL, Arsenal after winning start, Dortmund, Juve in 8-goal thriller. All right, and then a bit of a entertainment touch. Defense Lagos calls out hypocritical content creators. Custom acknowledges Finance Ministry directive on suspension of 4% FOB implementation. All right, and then you see a photo of the president there once again, welcomed by the presidential, the Senate president, and Bajabiamila. You could see in the picture there. All right, let me take you away from there and bring you the Daily Monitor. The Daily Monitor. All right, UBA hosts global leaders at UNGA 2025, launches white paper on unlocking Africa's potential. Yes, sir. We have other stories there that says harmonized identity system will strengthen governance, unlock opportunity. Tinubu. Troops snap IPOP ESN commander, rescue 12 kidnapped victims. Federal government sues Shawore, Facebook, X for allegedly cyberbullying Tinubu. Our CNG drivers have life insurance, housing loans, earn 3 times the minimum wage. Dangote Refinery. Okay. Interesting there. All right, let me see. APC to article, your incendiary commentaries reckless, irresponsible. And the writer says, urges ex-vice president to desist from instigating anarchy through reckless statements. Ongoing reforms will refocus financial stability, stimulate productivity. CBN. All right, these are the stories you find on Daily Monitor this morning. All right, let me bring you a few more stories before we take a breather. Nigerian Tribune. Let's look at what Nigerian Tribune has for us this morning. Obeolo unveils transformative education reforms in Edo. Customs consult Finance Ministry on alternative following suspension of 4% import levy. How Buhari's government destroyed the economy, Dogara says ex-president's administration's printing injection of 22.7 trillion naira destroyed naira value. Upsurge in Lassa fever cases as death hit 162 in August. NCDC on that story there. All right, also have other stories here that says UBA Foundation flags off 2025 National Essay Competition. Petrol from Dangote Refinery arrives USA for first time, reports. Wow, interesting. Congratulations then, I should say. And then on health, cannabis use may quadruple risk of developing diabetes. All right, so beware. All right, beware. You may be young today and taking it. You don't know what tomorrow says about your health. All right, CPPE urges policy mix to sustain inflation decline, boosts growth. NIPOS intercepts cannabis concealed in Lagos consignment from Thailand. All right, these are the stories you find on Nigerian Tribune this morning. All right, let me also bring you another story here, another newspaper, The Enquirer. The Enquirer newspaper this morning. We have flood alert, 11 states at risk of heavy rain this week, federal government. We also have Abuja Chamber blasts FCTA for neglect, I beg your pardon, ahead of trade fair. Federal government, MAGBAN, moved to end cattle roaming in Abuja. That is actually an eyesore personally for me. You know, I cannot understand how a state capital, Nigeria's state capital, you will be seeing cattle on the road, blocking major roads. You see them on the streets. They're just everywhere. And I wonder why nothing is being done about that. I hope this happen. I hope federal government and MAGBAN, I hope the move actually materialize into plausible outcome. All right, other stories you find on 20 on Inquirer is Tinubu removes subsidy without thinking about next election. Budget Biamila, page 10, on that story. Cholera deaths rose by 50% in 1 year, says WHO. That's a lot, actually. That's really a lot. One chance, commuters' nightmare in Abuja. Resident urge concrete action. Yes, indeed. I think an urgent action needs to be taken about this. It's still also an eyesore for a state capital to have this level of insecurity with regards to commuters. I've been hearing a lot of one chance, and I hope it doesn't happen to you, because it's traumatic. It leaves people that it happens to really in a traumatic state. So I do hope something is really being done about this one chance thingy happening here in the state in the nation's capital. All right, with that, I bring you the nation. The nation, fresh incentives to boost agri investment, food security. Bello unveils roadmap to reform education in Edo, and PDP's open ticket in line with Olawebo's Hashim position on zoning. We also have Tinubu's reform revolutionary, ex-speaker Dogara. All right, with that, I'll bring you a bit of sport, and let me bring you the metric sport. I want to play for Super Eagles, ex-Arsenal striker Chuba Akpon. UCL, Arsenal off to winning start, Dortmund, Juve in 8-goal thriller. SPL, Iheanacho confirms he is ready to play for Celtic. All right, those are the stories you find on Metric Sport for all ye sport lovers. And then for a bit of entertainment there, we have Why I No Longer Block Online Trolls, the video on that. Idris Elba hails Lagos as most amazing city in the world. Interesting. Oscar-winning actor, director Robert Redford passes away. Really tragic there. And lastly, Tasha defends Lagos, calls out hypocritical content creators. All right, these are the top stories making the wave this morning, being Wednesday. And with that, we'll take a quick breather. Hopefully my guests join me to discuss some of the biggest headlines making the wave. Stay with us. And welcome back to the press here on CAF 10 television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Well, if you're just joining, you've missed quite a lot because we've taken all the headlines making the way. But you're still in time to get into the analysis of some of the biggest stories. And I will not be doing it alone. I've been joined now by my guest in the studio in the person of Habib Gajo. He's a public affair analyst. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me. Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. So with him here, we'll be discussing some of the biggest headlines. I don't know which one touches you. You know that you also get to be part of it because your opinion and your thought matters to us. As Nigeria, we advise you to always speak out for a better Nigerian. So when the time is ripe, we're going to open the phone line for you to call and be part of the conversation. But for now, let me hit my guests with some question as we analyze some of the stories. There are actually so many of them that needs to be talked about, but I believe time may not really necessarily give us the opportunity to discuss that. But let's start with the biggest one, of course, which is the return of the president. Now he returned back after cutting short his vacation because he was actually supposed to also get to the UK, but then he cut it short. Now some are speculating about his policy shift. Meanwhile, we're also talking about how significant is his early return to Nigeria with regards to the political calendar as we gear towards 2027?
Well, the president is back. They said he cut it short. Honestly, from the beginning, they said he went for holiday. You understand? And holiday is normal. You can cut it off. You understand? Unlike official visit or assignments and state work, that one is different. He is welcome. He left Nigeria how it is, and he came back and he met Nigeria how it is. So no, no changes, no cause for alarm. He is welcome back.
Okay. All right. Well, another story that was all over the papers will be the inflation rate that has dropped. In fact, it's said to be the inflation rate is said to have been dropped for the consecutive fifth month, with about 20.12%, offering some relief to household. And of course, at the same time, the government has also suspended the FOB 4%. That's the levy on imported goods. So now the NUPRC also reports $18 billion in upstream approvals this year, pointing to renewed investment confidence in the oil and gas sector. Now, would you say that with these inflation dropping, would you say that there is a significant, I don't know, would you say that Nigerians actually felt it? This is the fifth month. Would you say that, yes, the cost of things has really reduced in the market? Would you attribute that? Would you say that is actually the reality?
Yeah, the reality is very clear and obvious that our homegrown food has reduced, like rice has reduced, tomato, egg, onions, food crops has reduced, you understand, based on we are at the end of the rainy season. We are in middle of September. Maybe it will be a very big difference when it reach November, December. So we have seen the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. Those dry season farming started from January, like those who planted corn and other things like cassava, onions, onions, tomatoes, and what they call it, yam. They plant potatoes. They were planting since January. They got the seed, and there is a federal government incentive in agriculture that boosts the farming. At the same time, fertilizer is very cost. It rose to almost to 70,000, 65 in some part of Nigeria. That's how it is. But really, the food inflation has dropped, but the inflation in Nigeria has not dropped.
Okay. All right. With that, let's talk about a bit on insecurity, and then I'll come back to some other stories that I would like you to touch on. Yes, on insecurity, troops have neutralized about 31 terrorists in Borno, Adamawa, and recovered weapons. But banditry persists, with 8 worshippers recently abducted in Zamfara. I don't know if you heard about that story. All right. Also, I heard about NAPTIV busting a child trafficking ring in Kano. And of course, the top Ansar militant has been sentenced. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison as of last week. Now, with this whole thing, do you think that would you consider these military successes? Would you say that, okay, this translates to that the military are actually doing well? Remember, we recently have the case of 8 worshippers abducted. I think about 2 weeks ago, we had about over 50 worshippers that were shot dead, I think in Katsina, if I'm not mistaken. Now, with this whole insecurity, I think about Friday last week, we have the Northern Elders Forum proposing some sort of a dialogue with bandits, you know, to bring about an end to bring about the cessation of insecurity. We talked about, is that the best way to handle this? Will dialoguing with bandits bring an end to this, or will it show the weakness of government in fighting banditry? But my overall question is, do you think the military is winning the fight against banditry, Boko Haram, terrorism in general?
Well, even the military itself cannot come out and say they are winning. You understand, despite that we have the Chief of Defense Staff and some key security personnel You understand? They're saying that Nigerians should now start defending themselves. You understand? So definitely fighting Boko Haram and insurgency, banditry, what they call them, kidnappers, and so on and so forth, is not going anywhere. You understand? The successes is very little. Is far below the expectation of Nigeria and the standard of Nigerian security agencies. Despite, if you compare with all the money that has been budgeted and money that has been put in that security in order to secure Nigeria and Nigerian territory, Nigerian people, Nigerian businesses, life and properties. You understand? You will now see that nothing to show about. You understand? You can score them for some little gain they had. You understand? But real insecurity exists in Nigeria and in all 35 states.
Okay. All right. I believe that includes the FCT, because we also have an insecurity in FCT.
Including FCT.
I don't know if you've been hearing about this one chance thing in Abuja here. It's becoming...
It's on daily basis.
And nothing is being done about it for a state capital, for a nation. I don't know why I keep saying state capital. For a nation's capital, yes. This should be the hub. This should be the safest state in Nigeria.
You see, there is a dark places and dark spot that in the evening you don't dare to follow. And today Nigerians lost even hope with not only our taxis who are doing one chance, even those mobile or online transporters are also doing one chance. Some even kidnap, some even kill, more especially ladies. And
yes.
You understand? So it's so pathetic and disheartening that this is happening in our own country and in the doorstep of the seat of the government.
Exactly.
You understand? That's, though, like I said, military there is a military basis in all 35 states, including FCT. There is military basis, there is checkpoint, there is joint task forces in every corner. There is operation, this operation, that operation, Hadarin, Daji operation. You understand?
Yes.
But nothing is working. Now, if you go out of Abuja Municipal Area Council, you are no longer safe. You are not safe from kidnappers, you are not safe from armed robbers, you are not safe from gunmen and so on and so forth. Inside Abuja Municipal Area Council, you will have phone snatching, bags, one chance, and so on and so forth. So honestly, something needs to be done urgently to keep Nigeria safe and Nigerian people safe.
Yes, indeed, something needs to be done urgently, because it's not funny. All right, let's come back to some controversial issue, and that will be Sowore. We have the DSS. We have the DSS on Sowore, Meta, and X. Of course, Meta and X are being indicted because they allow the statement to be made on their platform. Well, I checked to find out that actually the bone of contention. And from Sowore's X handle, it reads, he made a post about, I think 14 hours ago, where he said, what if we start a hashtag? Hashtag is really... Okay, now the hashtag says, he says, what if you make start a hashtag, and it says, hashtag Tinubu is a criminal, and it keeps trending regardless. This is the particular post that is causing the problem. Yes, we are told that we have freedom of expression and all, but would you say that this is freedom of expression, or it has exceeded it? Because for you to refer to the president as a criminal, you must have your evidence. What do you
I
think?
Did he say president, or did he say?
He said Tinubu. He said Tinubu,
so,
not president.
So I think as a public affairs analyst, I will put it as his own opinion on Tinubu and freedom of speech and so on and so forth. We are in democracy. You understand? Under fundamental human rights, the Constitution guarantee freedom of speech and freedom of association.
Let's not forget the hate speech.
But yeah, he can be, the president can now go on hate speech and other, or cyber bully and so on and so forth. You understand? But honestly, some comment in social media are not friendly to our culture and our values. You understand? You can't look at somebody who is enough to be your father or your grandfather and you call him a criminal. I think that's too hard and too harsh for any individual to make that to any personality in Nigeria. So we need to adjust our way of criticism, you understand, and do it as a conventional way of doing, or a constructive way of criticism. So these are the two issues. But also the security agencies, more especially the Department of State Services, I think they have maturedly handled the situation by saying that he should withdraw that statement. You understand? So, and apologize, which he said he will not do. Then definitely, maybe they will meet him in the court of law. They will settle that.
Yeah, they've already actually
so there is
him.
There is something I forgot about the insecurity. You made mention of some part of Nigeria negotiating with bandits.
The North Central, to be precise.
The North Central and the Northwest.
The Northwest
the one that is very clear and the one that is the most disturbing is the one in that happened in Katsina State. You understand? Where political leaders and other statesmen that sat with the bandit and negotiated in Paskari. You understand? And the community people, because this community, let me put it this way so that Nigerians will understand from where this thing is coming. You see, when somebody who meant to protect you said, I can protect you, protect yourself, defend yourself, and you don't have any means to defend yourself. You don't have the resources, you don't have the arms, you don't have the trained people, trained personnel, you understand, in your own locality. And they said, defend yourself. How can you defend yourself? Then the community called the bandit and said, come, we need to go to market, we need to go to farms, we need to go to school, we need to do all these things. From today on, stop attacking us. And we too will not disturb you. The bandit said, we will not lay our arms, but we will not interfere in your own social life and economic activities. You understand? But our guns remain with us in the bush, but in the community, you will not see us with guns. But in the bush, we will see us. And there is a report that said where they are doing the negotiation is not far from where military are. You understand?
That's usually the case.
Now, secondly, you have where a deputy governor, House of Rep members, senators, and state lawmakers attending the
what they call negotiating with bandit or something like that. This shows you how our security forces has failed, how Nigeria has failed. You understand? Though Nigeria has not been declared as a failed state, but I'm assuring Nigerians that bandits don't go like that. You don't negotiate with bandit from the weakness. You negotiate from the side of the strength you have. You understand? And you force them to drop their arms. That's how it is. And you make arrest of some of their leaders and prosecute them or execute them. Because they are criminal, they are taking life and they are doing what they are doing. But from what they did not tell us, what the demand of the bandit. You understand? Have they demanded for money? They didn't tell us. They didn't tell Nigerians. There is no information on that. The farming, maybe end of the season, how many percentage they will be given when you harvest, you understand? And so on and so forth. And market, maybe there is taxes and levies they lay on the community, and that has not been unveiled. But I know when we keep hitting on them, all these things will come out. You understand? Or when the truth has been broken, we will hear how it is, because they are not reliable. And now you give a bandit, a kidnappers, a criminals legitimacy. You understand? To do what they want to do, because you can't protect your citizens, and the citizens are now or surrender to those criminals. The legitimacy and the power now in Paskari local government or in Paskari community in Katsina state lies on the hands of bandit. That's the implication, and that's the danger, and that's what we are against. You understand? So in some part of North Central, it has not yet clear how they negotiated with them, but time will reveal that. Definitely they will come up with a statement like the way it happened in Zafara, but honestly it's dangerous for Deputy Governor and lawmakers to attend that, and some part of key security officials to be part of that negotiation. And honestly, we have lost it. So don't be Nigerians should not be surprised. Maybe by end of this year or next year, you start seeing some report from other institutions in the world, or foreign institution, saying Nigeria is a failed state. That's how Al-Shabaab and so on took over Somalia. Taliban took over what they call it, Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda and Nusra Front took over ISIS, took over Syria, and they became a failed state.
All right, thank you for that. Well, we have a bit of an environment issue, and that's the fresh flood alert that has been issued in Lagos and about 13 other states. This is like, is becoming like, how should I call it? You know how we sing the national anthem? Like, okay, yes, is every year we expecting floods, and we're not really seeing any government effort in mitigating or finding a way to completely bring a halt, because every year we have lives lost, properties destroyed as a result of flooding in some parts of the country. Now, yes, NEMA is always on its toes to inform Nigerians that, okay, there'll be flood in this place and that place, and then they will advise Nigerians to move to higher ground, evacuate if you're in a flood-prone areas. But should that be our daily food that we should eat every year in concerning to flood, or should the federal government alongside the state government find a lasting solution, like a really lasting solution to this incessant flood every year that claims lives of innocent Nigerians?
You see, it's another shift that Nigeria has to, or Nigerians has to come out and talk this thing openly. You understand? The responsibility lies on the federal government and also the state governments, because it's the federal government that taking the project of ecological funds and so on and so forth. So state government has little to do. Those our riverines areas and our dams, mini dams and so on and so forth. They are old, they need reconstruction, some need to be rebuilt, some need to be expanded, and we have to demarcate dams for economy and mini dams for irrigation, you understand, so that the farmers cannot lose everything. Because if the flood destroys all the farms, destroy villages and other hamlets, so something needs to be done, you understand, in order to streamline the waterways, the water lines and so on, so that if the heavy rain has fall, it will not be a catastrophe. There is a where the water will go and will be safe for even generation of electricity. You understand? Yeah. For even fishing, for so many things, for economic. You understand? So that when the dry season comes, the dry farming, irrigation will also get enough water to do, and we will save another water where we have a drinking potable water. You understand? Some of the dams provide water, but today they stopped because they lack that capacity.
That's right.
Even in FCT here, you understand? People will be wondering that we are saying even in FCT, or in FCT, we are giving example in FCT. Just Usuma Dam in Buari cannot provide a water for the city, the residents of the FCT. You understand? Yeah. Not 24 hours, not 8 hours, not 4 hours. You understand? The water will come small and it will go. And you have this water flooding all over and destroying water that we need to keep and use it. You understand? So these are things that federal government need to do, more especially the Minister of Water Resources and all other agencies. Though the alert, like you said, is just like a national anthem. Every season you have this alert coming, you understand? Flood is coming, but we have not done anything up to now.
All right. With that, we're going to open the phone lines for you listening to be a part of the conversation. Like I told you, your voice matters and it is important. You always speak up for a better Nigerian. So as you can see, the phone line is displayed on the screen. Callers would love to hear your thoughts on any of the headlines. Anyone that touches you, anyone you like to talk about, feel free to discuss that with us. Our phone lines are open for you to call. Well, I would like to take you back to Rivers State with Fubara's, of course, imminent return to office as governor. And we also have some of the, I was reading about the CSOs and some other bodies sort of commending the administrator, the interim administrator, for keeping the peace in Rivers while he was in office for 6 months, and also urging Fubara to maintain the tempo. On the other hand, politically, we have the APC urging Fubara also to join the fold of the APC. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Some are saying that with Fubara returning to the government house, that it may be one or two things. It could be that he's returning defeated. I may just do anything that is being asked him to do, or that he could decide to, maintain the tempo he was on and do what he wants to do at the end of the day. So it's just a lot, actually. Some said that he might, some are even advising him that maybe he should just get back in there. Possibly, if things are not going well, he should just honorably resign and all. What are your take on that with the governor returning after this 6 months?
Honestly, I disagree with the CEOs and the other organizations that are saying that the military administrator, Real Admiral Abbas, has maintained peace. There is no breakdown of law and order in Rivers State. You understand? Rivers State is peaceful. Those who are disagreeing with themselves is the governor and the former governor. It's a political issue, is a political crisis that every state, including the federal government itself, has. All the parties has these issues. They have this crisis. We have seen functionalization. We have seen how godfathers are manipulating the new governor and so on and so forth. You're all political leaders in the state. You understand? And that does not warrant declaring a state of emergency and the removal of the governor. I keep saying it. It has been done illegally. It has been done sentimentally, and what they have done, very soon it will backfire. You understand? On Monday, I was here in this studio. I disagree totally on that state of emergency. And when it was declared, I also disagree with it, and I maintain my position that I disagree with it. Now you destroy the institution of democracy, the legislature and the executives. You destroy the local government structures and democratic structures, and now you have conducted on your own. On which law, which ground that the administrator, the constitution did not say administrator, the constitution said the executive governor of the state who was elected will call for the election. The state assembly, you understand, will make law. Who did that law? Who made that law? You understand? You conducted a kangaroo election that did not even, I don't know even how to put it. I know INEC will have a running battle in court because they did it manually. You understand? Despite Vivas having legal issues, you understand, that is not been captured in, but it is there in the guideline of the election. You understand? Mm-hmm. And it was not been used. It has been used manually. So tell me how this thing will relate to the state of emergency or the removal of the governor. Now you have removed the governor, you have removed the deputy governor, you have removed the state assembly. What are you going to call the return of Governor Fubara of Rivers State? Another swearing in or hand over? Did he hand over for the administrator? He didn't. You understand?
I don't know
now, call it. Secondly, the River State, the administrator, now remove the SSG, remove the head of service, remove all the political appointees. Yes. Now, who gave him that power? From where did he derive that power? Under which law? And now you are saying that tenure expiration. How can you reconcile? So Fubara will just come and take over and dismantle what you have done illegally? That is why APC is saying that he joined the fold. He should join APC.
Yeah, because
so that,
the local government election was
because they know they
days ago.
Yeah, because,
had about 99%.
No, because they have done what they want to do illegally. You understand? With the governor, that illegality wouldn't happen. It's so unfortunate that Nigerian judiciary is part of this mess. You understand? That you know, so all these things compared to how a state emergency was declared in Plateau State, it's only Joshua Dariye that was removed. Even his deputy governor was there. State assemblies are there. Head of service, secretary to the government of the federation, all of them are there. You understand? When the time expires, the military administrator walked out and Joshua Dariye walked in. The state assembly is here. So how can you reconcile this? So everybody will walk in, or you want to do swearing in. How many do you swear a governor in one term? Remember, that's how we start having a off-seasonal election in Nigeria. When Peter Obi was impeached illegally and he was returned and he was sworn in. You understand? And so many election annulment or rerun that took place in Nigeria in some state is 200 what they call it swearing in. You understand? Now, so you remove him you remove him 6 months, and when he returns, when the May 29, 2027 will come, he will go to court and said, no, my tenure is still remain because
6 months.
I was illegally removed for 6 months, so my tenure will expire in another 6 months. How can you reconcile that? That is why when we are talking of this illegality, people are just talking that the president has power. The president has his power. You understand? And his power is limited. But when you destroy the institution of democracy, you never get it right. Like all these things I've said, how can the president reconcile all these things? How can he get it right? How can he? So, how, God? I don't know. Well, time will tell. Is it tomorrow? In the next 12 hours, we'll hear the position of the government.
Exactly.
Whether they will even extend it or
not, because there's that too.
Yeah.
There's actually that too. Actually, I actually mentioned that last week. If they might say that they're going to extend the stay of the administrator. Time will tell, like you said. I would like to hear, if you were to advise the governor, what would you tell him? But before then, the phone lines are open. Please do well to call and join the conversation. Apologies, I saw some calls earlier, but I didn't want to cut. Mr. Gajo here on what he was saying. So let's take a few calls and see how it goes. Hello, good morning to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Umar Gwawas. Good morning, Mr. Gajo.
Good morning, Umar.
Thank you. Please, Mr. Gajo.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about insecurity in the Northwest. The insecurity or crime perpetrated in Northwest. Crime against, is it only the states or against humanity? The people general? Because why I ask this question is that the perpetrator of this crime, sometimes last week I saw a video clip where like they came together and somebody claimed to be the leader. I've forgotten the name. He claims to be the leader and they have meeting. You are discussing that just now. They have meeting. Is that enough to just have meeting and understanding and then let them go? Or what do you think should be done to save the people of especially Katsina, Zamfara and Niger? What do you think? Because somebody cannot just commit that he knows crime and then you come and just have meeting, negotiation, and then you go like that. Is it okay? So I can walk on the road and kill somebody, then tomorrow I will call and then say, okay, we should have meeting, they should forgive me, or they should pay me so amount of money, and then we'll forget about it. Please, on the other hand, if you have to advise governments about this insecurity, what would be the profound solution, a lasting solution to this? Because there is more to what we are hearing, more that is happening to what we are hearing and what we are seeing. Time will not permit me to go on and on. Thank you, Kaftan TV, for giving
Thank you, Umar.
the opportunity.
Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, let me see if we're going to take another call before you respond to his message. Let's see if we could do one more call before you respond. But if that call doesn't come, I'll just have you respond quickly to... Okay, let me just have you respond to what he said. You heard what he said, right?
Yes.
So, and based on insecurity.
You see, it's a state crime and crime against humanity at the same time. You understand? It's not only the humanity, but it's also a crime against state. Because these people destroyed life and property. And the responsibility of the government, a democratic government, and a leader who happened to be the chief executive, is to protect life and property. But anybody that is taking life and property definitely is committing a state crime. That is why if we arrest them, we take them to court. You understand? We'll investigate and take them to court for punishment. You understand? Like we have seen those who are captured.
Yeah, like Ansari.
So the fate of the community has been lost and dashed away by the security agencies that said, defend yourself. You understand? Now, where the problem is that how can a government with security apparatus, with all the resources, with the almighty government, will now go and sit with community and bandit and say, no, stop attacking us.
Yeah, so I just want you to take a pause. Let's take another call because of time. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Princess. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Brother over there, thank you very much for your comment.
Welcome. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel.
Okay, Emmanuel, go ahead.
From Yobe State. Yes.
Yobe. Okay.
I really thank God for the discussion, my brother. Yeah, I really appreciate what he said. If God can able to help us for kind of person to speak out, this might be better. From what he said, I just heard about this kidnappers and the bandits. And my brother, I wanted to ask, which kind of discussion they are making arrangements to settle? What the main purpose? I want to know what the main purpose of these people, what they carry in mind to settlement. Is it let the peace reign in what way? Because as my brother who called this official concerning how they are killing people there and other people like Yobe State and maybe be there. How many of them are going to call together to discuss this issue? Because if you look at this government is not helping matter. It's not helping matter at all. Because what I'm seeing in this government, all of them are just together. How can it pay bandits? and bandits come and kill people, are you negotiating for what reason? What is the purpose of negotiating for them? Is it to them to tell us what they want? So this can be able to settle down. What do you want? I think that's what. And moreover, how many of them, people, government just, all those army, all those soldiers are going to bush and do this, and I will never see even one person. These people are, is it an Igbo, is it an Yoruba, is it an Hausa? How many of them they bring out and show people, say, look at the people who have been fighting and killing people here and there. But all those things are just, keep under the carpet. Nobody even see one of them at all. But innocent souls, they just kill them. They just, police people are just come and harass innocent people, like this very guy, this Yoruba guy who is talking about Tinubu and whatever. And they bring it, but all the people who are killing people, they don't even pursue them. How can you do this, my brother? Please, I want you to put an eye on this, because we are discussing such which always, just watch like this governor of the Rivers State as well as talk about it. This kind of things, as we said it here, there. This man, Minister of FDC, there are problems between two of them, and they bring it to the party. It's just the only one party you are going to follow, APC. Another party cannot able to come out again. This person, look at what the election they did there. I saw the manipulation. People are just putting hands, printing their printing, and just I saw it in this thing online.
All right,
so
Emmanuel.
All those kind of things, I don't like it. Please, I just want my brother. Please, I thank you very much for your conversation.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Gaja, we just have less than 5 minutes, so I'll have you quickly respond and wrap up the program.
Yes, because their question is also related.
It's similar, exactly, still on security.
Yes. So the state has failed. You understand? The securities has failed, and the community has nowhere to run to. You understand? So definitely this bandit overruns, let me put it this way, has overrun the state and the security agencies.
And they know it.
And they know it. You understand? Because they came from the side of the strength. If you look at the pictures, you understand? Some of them carry AK-49, AK-47, some with military camouflage.
Exactly.
You understand?
Even if they were not sure, the fact that the government is
and you see
asking for-
politicians, middle of them discussing, the community was just sitting down, all what we want to go to our farms, we want to go to our one. But now, let me talk about the solution that Dabas and Emmanuel that called from Yobe and Dabas that called from Benue State. Now, the solution is very clear. The monies that have been allocated for security should be used to secure people. You understand? Let the community be vigilant. Let the security forces take charge. You understand? They should not wait order from anywhere. A criminal is criminal. You don't wait an order to take out a criminal. If you didn't take out a criminal while waiting order, a criminal would take out you. You understand? So let the government focus on security, particularly like the northern leaders, the northeast leaders that says declare state of emergency on insecurity. We need to be secured. So let the government declare insecurity in Nigeria, you understand, and some part of the country with emergency insecurity rule. You understand? You can create martial laws, you can create decrees as a president, you understand? You can give military, the police, the civil defense, and the state security services a upper hand to go to come together You understand? To be united in fighting insecurity, unlike where we see Duare Muhammadu Buhari, the chief of army staff, is fighting with the defense staff. The defense staff is fighting with air staff. Air staff is fighting with. There is no coordination. You understand? So let President be the chairman of this national security and coordinate it. DSS come, military come, all the security agencies come. This is what I want, and this is what I have. What did you don't have, so that I will provide you. I want this to end in 6 months, in 9 months. If it did not end, all of you, I will sack you. I will bring another people. We'll deal with that. We'll fight it. We'll make Nigeria peace. We'll make our communities free from crime and all these atrocities. You understand? Yeah. That's how to do it. But you sit down, you always you condemn. Statement come, exactly. 100 people has been killed, 200 people has been killed.
Thank you, Mr. Gajo.
And all what you said, we condemn. Condemn what?
Thank you.
In which sense are you condemning?
I understand your
From where you are condemning?
I understand your passion for this, because it's quite preposterous that a country as big as Nigeria will remain in insecurity to the point that we're now thinking of negotiating with bandits. Why on earth would you even sit down with bandits to negotiate with them? People that have killed innocent people, destroyed life, and put a state in a state of anarchy. That is totally uncalled for. I want to say a very big thank you, Habib Gajo, for being with me today on the show. We appreciate your input on all the discussions we had today. Yes, as for Nigeria, there is absolutely nothing we cannot achieve if we put our mind to it. If we could have credible leaders who are very passionate about bringing Nigeria to the path it should be, bringing an end to insecurity is not impossible. It is possible, like you said, if the leader decisively give an ultimatum to people who are heading these security positions, give them ultimatum that if you don't deliver, you get taken out. I will see that we're going to have them getting serious with this, with the assignment in question, and bring an end to insecurity in our dear nation, Nigeria. I want to say a very big thank you for also watching, and for those of you who called and contributed, we appreciate you for being a part of the press. This is how far we go on today's edition. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Princess Ekeze Okoli. Bye for now.